So, who are you? Tell me a bit about yourself and how long have you been living with your eating disorder now for?
My name is Caragh. I'm 22 and I have been living with an eating disorder for 7 years. I started with bulimia while I was still in high school, going through a really tough time. After about a year, it developed into anorexia and has stayed that way for about 6 years. At the start, I was probably eating about 400 calories a day, really being strict with myself and making sure that I wasn't eating any form of white carb. I was really, really restrictive, so I ate a lot of mainly veg. I would never eat breads, pastas, rice, sugary drinks of any kind, because I had in my head that it was really bad and it was definitely going to make me fat if I ate it. Then after a few years, I managed to kind of change it a little bit and increase my calories, but still to about 700, and it's been like that for the past 4 years, really. I gained weight and it was definitely better from the start, but then my goals kind of just disappeared and everything that I thought that I was working towards didn't really happen. My body kind of changed and I put on weight and I really wasn't happy about it, but there was nothing that I could do because my body adjusted to the amount of calories and nutrients that I was giving it. I kind of felt like I wasn't really somebody that looked like I had an eating disorder, and I think other people felt like that too, which is why nobody really picked up on it too much, especially towards the end. Everybody thought I was healing because I'd put on weight, but it wasn't really like that. And I think that society has put an image in people's head of what anorexia or bulimia looks like, which is super thin, when realistically only 5% of people that have an eating disorder are actually underweight. People of all different sizes have eating disorders, and those that look healthy kind of just get pushed aside. So it wasn't that anybody was ignoring it, it just didn't look as though I was really going through anything, and that's quite important to note because people just look out for skinniness and things like that as a sign, whereas you can spot a lot of things. You can spot how people are acting, you can spot how people are feeling, and it's really important to do that, especially to your friends that you think are going through things like that.
How has this affected you, people around you, your family and friends, anyone it could be? And also, how did your life alter to adjust around your eating disorder?
It definitely affected every single person around me, especially the people that were really close. My parents, my boyfriend and my best friends. One of my best friends had to watch it right from the start. So she watched it for the whole period of the 7 years, and she really felt out of control with it because she wanted to fix it, but she couldn't, and she knew that I couldn't. Help was an option, but she knew that I wasn't at the point where I was ready to take it. She used to offer to take me out for meals and try and encourage me to eat, knowing that I'd do it with her, but then she'd kind of just see me pushing food around my plate and leave extremely worried and extremely upset because she knew that I couldn't do it and I wasn't going to do it when I got home. It really affected me and my boyfriend, especially when we went out, because we'd go out for day trips and we'd spend hours looking for somewhere that had something that would suit me, and nothing really suited me, so we'd just end up kind of popping to a Tesco and sitting on the side because there was no point in going to a restaurant that I wasn't really going to eat from. And this was every single time that we did something, and it really hindered it. For him, it'd be really normal to just walk in the first restaurant that he's seen and go and sit down. But for me, I physically couldn't do that. And it wasn't, for a lot of people, I think they just think, it's just food, like, just eat it. But there's such a physical, mental block that you cannot get past, even if you really want to, like, you cannot do it. So it affected it in that sense, but he was super supportive the whole time. He'd never gave it away that he was struggling because he never wanted me to feel like a burden, and I know that I wasn't one, but he really adjusted to the situation, was really supportive. Any single time that I tried something new, he'd praise me for it, but didn't want to make too big of a deal out of it. He offered a million times to come and get some help and directed me into the path of health. Never forced me because he knew that wouldn't help. That was going to stress me out. That was going to send me backwards. It could end up worse. I could end up relapsing in things. He was really, really supportive the whole time and never gave away that he was struggling. Because with these things come depression, they come anxiety, and watching somebody go through that is really difficult, especially when it's as serious as it is. everything changed. Being able to go out with my friends, and if we'd pop to McDonald's for a breakfast, everybody would start eating, and I'd order a McMuffin, and I'd pick off the egg, and the bun would go in the bin, and I'd sit there kind of pulling this egg apart, and it was just, everything about it was so different, and I just felt so weird, and there was nothing that I wanted more to just sit and enjoy a pizza or like a Chinese and a glass of wine with my friends, and I just couldn't. Really, obviously quite painful for my parents to watch, because both of my parents are chefs. They both love cooking, they love food, and my mom's Greek, so we've always been surrounded by a lot of food, and I just couldn't eat it. So it was really painful for them to watch, and they wanted to change it, and they knew that they couldn't, and they knew I couldn't at that point in time.
Okay, so the final question I'm going to ask you is, at what point did you sit and realise and think, you know what, I need to sort this out now, I've had enough and that's it? How did it all get better, and where are you at now? Do you still suffer with it? Are you still going through it, or how are you?
After 7 years, it's quite hard really, because it's been going on for so long, you end up kind of deeper in it. It gets harder to get out of. But at the same time, I was so bored of it. I was so bored of feeling miserable and feeling upset, and I love food. I've always loved food, and I really missed it, and I really wanted to eat it, but I knew that it was past the point of being a choice. It was a physical mental block that I needed to finally break. I saw a post on Instagram, and I started educating myself. This girl, she was eating at one point 1,000 calories, and she looked one way, and then she was eating 2,400 calories, and she was closer to her goal when she was eating more. And it started making sense in my head that actually it's all been wrong the whole time. The whole time it's not been doing anything. It's not been getting me close to my goal, because I've been malnourished, I've had no energy, my body is storing whatever it needs to store, and it was time that I took my fitness seriously and I did it the right way. But not necessarily losing weight. I didn't want to lose weight or anything like that, but I wanted to be stronger, I wanted to be fitter, and enjoy foods at the same time, and gain a relationship with food at the same time, and enjoy them all again. And there were so many foods that I was so excited to eat, and I think that really gave me a push. All I wanted was a baguette or a burger or a bowl of pasta. It kind of set a goal for me of what I could push for and reach for. So I thought I'd go down the path of starting from scratch, getting a PT, doing it the right way, getting some proper advice with it as well. We started building my calories up. So we started I was eating about 700 calories. So then we put it up to 900, and then we put it up again, 200 every single time that I hit them, and I'd smash them out, and then we'd keep putting them up. At the moment, I'm eating about 1,700 calories, anywhere between there and 1,900 calories, which is so big, from 700, and I'll be working right up to 2,400, and it will keep going. I've eaten pasta, I've eaten pizzas, burgers, and I never saw that day. I had my baguette, and it was really good. It was a little bit stale, but it was really good. And and I've had so many things, sugary drinks, and I haven't really thought twice about it. I've just done it and enjoyed them and loved it. There's been days where it's been a little bit harder, and I've looked back and kind of thought, oh, I feel like I shouldn't have done that. Got through it, woke up the next day, it's fine. I'm able to go out with my friends now. I'm able to enjoy times and not stress about things that really don't matter. Everything has just got so much better. I think I'll probably be recovering for a while, mentally, physically, as a whole. I think it's something that really takes a long time to get over. It was really stressful for the body and the mind, and it takes a really long time to fully recover from that. I'm working on it every day, and I'll keep working on it until it's completely recovered. But as a whole, I feel so much happier. I have so much energy. I am so much better in myself, and so proud of myself of where I've come. And it just shows that the whole time I was doing it so wrong, and it wasted so much of my time, and I wish that I could tell anybody else that was going through it, it's such a waste of time, and it does so much more damage than just the damage that it does to your body. Overall, I'm just really happy to be where I'm at right now, and to continue making progress and making life so much better than it was before.